I just really wanted to call. Is this a good time? He had such overwhelming power, but wasn't threatening because he was so sociable. So sociable. My feelings were so mixed up hearing that strong, confident voice, almost like the voice of an uncle, that I couldn't think of what to say. Well, I understand you're busy. Off to Gazaniga's place? What, do you know that? You forget my trading style. I make sure to always inspect my investment choices. To that end, I have binoculars in hand at all times to spy on an exclusive executive dining hall that shouldn't even exist, remember? Tailing, or wiretapping. I've known for quite a while that little Schweitzer girl was up to something interesting. That whole vulgar setup brought up to the Securities and Exchange Commission was all Kevin acting on his own authority. Having Harold Broth make that fake bank account, I mean. My spin's the same, but the guys at Platinum Smith have neither pride nor shame. I didn't think they'd wag their tails so easily. I don't want to be grouped with them, so I'm excusing myself from this mess. Actually, I did make you out on the Avalon trading room floor. You came to scope it out, didn't you? That really took me back. Bondsman. I forgot about Mr. Lozenge, actually. It was nostalgic. I wonder what Reese would think if I told her I was pretty happy being told that. But at the same time, I got a bad premonition. A guy with a trading style like yours mixed in with a horde of lemmings was just too bizarre. So I put in a bit of effort into digging around. Turns out you're up to some interesting stuff. Your relationships are pretty mysterious. Wouldn't you agree, mister? There were even those going all out buying stock in the elevator on the way to the company tour. They were certainly headed off en masse to jump over the cliff into the ocean, just as they said hordes of lemmings did. Now, I don't believe they actually do that. The truth to this, if what I read was correct, is actually kind of disturbing. Unthinking, they didn't even decide for themselves, just blindly did as they were told, or in this case pushed. I wasn't one of them. I rather hated myself for how pleased I felt being given that kind of rating. This was the guy who fooled us all, yet I only blame myself. No point in dragging this out, I'm just going to get right to the point. You want me to back off? If you were the kind to do that on command, I'd have sent some muscle your way. There are quite a few beautiful defenseless girls around you. Get my drift? My hand trembled. Blood rushed to my head. But that just ended up having the opposite effect. You'd never give up. The Schweitzer girl is the same. Dirty wouldn't work. My aesthetics wouldn't allow that anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter as long as we don't lose. I guess you consider that fortunate, since I'm pretty sure my aesthetics and your guys' are about the same. I took a deep breath, still clenching my teeth. When Barton caused that stirring in my soul, making it difficult for me to articulate, that was simply because he said what he said seemed believable for some reason. You guys are moving forward in your beliefs. I'm moving forward in mine. I know that must sound pretty messed up, coming from the right-hand man of a scam company. But we feel about you just as you feel about us. We really want to take down Emerald Industries. To that end, we can't help but have to play dirty. What we're up against is just too big. Since you're living on the moon, it's a company you should be watching out for. Bit of advice from me to you. While he said that in a mocking tone, it sounded like a momentary lapse of honesty in an attempt to conceal his embarrassment. Avalon's corporate matter. Take down Emerald Industries. They were serious about it. On another matter, are you really going over to Gazaniga's place with little Miss Schweitzer? Is that a question? Yeah, simple question. Just because I thought it was a bit unexpected. Unexpected. It couldn't be that you just have no idea what you're doing. His discouraging way of speaking made me feel like something icy was hitting my stomach. Yet my heart was racing painfully fast and my hands were clammy. I knew the sensation. Sometime long ago, I experienced it. Yes, this was exactly like when Barton tried to knock me into that trap. The sensation was the same as that time. You still the same as 4 years ago? My heart raced and I blurted out a shout. No. Lies. You're about to make the same screw-up. Think hard. You're walking on the razor's edge again without even knowing it. This is my plea, but it's also a warning. Please don't waste my dream. But if you're fighting us head-on, I'll face you down. And this time it won't be all fun and games. if you don't watch out. I could hear Barton's low voice coming out through the receiver. Next time, you're really going to die. I swallowed hard, unable to speak. Say something, say something, say something! I assailed myself with this plea. Could this have been psychological warfare from Barton? A strategy to get me to once again leave the decision to him, abandon my ideas, and become another lemming. I remembered Barton's face from 4 years ago. Yeah, there was something I wanted to ask Barton. That time 4 years ago, that conversation in the cafe, this felt exactly like the conversation at that time. I wanted to make sure of something. The man that was Barton. Or if not that, the man who appeared to be Barton. If I wanted a clear picture of that stock, there was one thing I needed to confirm. From what you're telling me, I can't tell what's true or a lie. That's unfortunate, but, however, I interrupted Barton, and quietly spoke word by word as if in a language I had just learned. There's one thing I wish to ask. Alright, let's hear it. 4 years ago in that cafe, I took a deep breath. Were you not actually trying to trick me? If I asked Risa, Suro, Chris, or anyone else, I'm sure they'd doubt what they were hearing. But that's all I could believe. I couldn't imagine Barton thinking he'd be able to trick me. Silence fell on the other end of the line for a moment. The next thing I heard was laughter. That's a hell of a question. Even after sinking all your cash and the cash of the people you're trying to protect, asking if I wasn't actually trying to trick you? I wondered if maybe you were simply disappointed. When I said that quietly, Barton suddenly lowered his voice. It was almost as if I could see Barton's face on the other end of the line. Business is all about sizing up the worth of the other, so if you screw up your estimation, then you can sink everything in your failure. That's all there is to it. But if that's the worth of your opponent, then it becomes your worth as well. Barton sighed dejectedly and spoke. I was sold on your skills. When I called the church during the settlement, I was truly dismayed. I'm not sure if you can believe that. I can. I think, most of all, I couldn't forgive myself for betraying so many people's expectations, yours included. So, what are you going to do after dragging your leg around for 4 years? I'm headed right where you are. Oh? Using my brain to its fullest, following my beliefs, and making decisions. I look forward to that. Make sure you don't lose your way. Same to you. Well said. Barton chuckled as he ended with that, hanging up. I placed my hand on my forehead, slipping my shoulder onto the elevator wall as if overcome with dizziness. My breathing had sped up painfully, but my mind was burning up inside. Was Barton's warning truly a warning or another trap? I thought to myself. But it occurred to me right away. Really, after saying all of that to me, Barton certainly wouldn't think I'd simply stop and give up that easily, so it couldn't be a trap. Barton had even tried to trick me 4 years ago. But I became terrified because it couldn't be a trap. I'm walking on the razor's edge again. Barton believed that knowing would give me pause. And he warned me that if I didn't watch out, I would really die this time. But what was all that? What was I missing here? Saying he'd sent some muscle, that was probably unlikely. I could believe Barton. I could at the very least believe that. If that's what he intended to do, then he had plenty of opportunities to do so. He could have just popped a hole in our window with some long-range ballistics while we were floating around the spaceship, and he could have passed it off as an accident. So this is basically that meteor impact thing that I was flipping out about earlier. I was thinking about going into more detail about this at the end of this video, but jury's out on that. If all that were so, and it was more about this side, there was something I need to realize. Something that would apparently give us pause as we chase after Avalon with our immature sense of justice. But I hadn't the faintest idea, not even remotely. Was it something in our materials? Something I should have obviously noticed? Was it something so great that we couldn't understand it even after how much we thought things over? As I pondered frantically, another call came in on my tablet. That startled me, and I thought I should at least send a message to Eleanor. The call was probably from Eleanor anyway. Thinking that, I checked my tablet, but it was from Chris. Chris? I realized my tone was prickly as though I was asking what she wanted at this hour. Sorry, I'm busy now. Do you need something? I thought she's probably going to ask about dinner or how to revise her program or something like that. No, nothing really. Well, it's nothing in particular. I'm sorry, I'm hanging up. Yeah, could you tell Risa I may be coming home late tonight? Got it. Later then. Chris said that with a somewhat odd cheerfulness to her voice as she hung up. I sighed, stuffing my tablet into my bag. I did feel a tinge of irritation that my train of thought had been brought to a halt. There was nothing wrong with Chris. I would think so, even if she had been by my side those 4 years supporting me. But I was getting a bit fed up with her childishness. I pressed the elevator call button as I thought this. I continued to churn what Barton said about Avalon around in my head. So when that flashed across my mind, it felt like someone struck me in the back of the head with a bat. Suro's party. Tension gripped my gut, and there was a taste of acid in the back of my throat. Chris was shy and was worried about the party, so she said she wanted me to come. I hastily promised I would. I took it up without thinking much about it. And just now, what did I say over the phone? Do you need something? I envisioned Chris's face in the back of my mind. An aching in my chest, an ache I've experienced before. I pulled out my tablet and frantically set out a call to Chris. No answer. I was a fool, betraying the expectations of others. Wasn't that the one thing I couldn't forgive myself those 4 years ago? I was too much of a fool. After trying 3 times with no answer, I called the church. Goodness, Haru, what is it? Where's Chris? Chris? She left a while ago. What, did she tell you the wrong meeting spot? No. I hung up, feeling a sensation that was a cross between nausea and tormented regret. That's because I could clearly imagine exactly what Chris had said as she left the church. She probably told Risa she was going to New York City to meet me. Yet I had completely forgotten about that. Undoubtedly forgotten. There was a much more pressing matter, but that was just an excuse. It was a pressing matter to me, but to believe that that was important to Chris, ridiculous. I called Chris once again. No answer. I became so terribly worried that my tablet almost slipped out of my hands. Chris, feeling hurt, went off somewhere. I knew it was a ridiculous thought. Yet I was so worried, I thought I might burst into tears. My right hand didn't move. It was the same worry from 4 years ago, the time I brushed Tagana's hand away. I hadn't grown in any way since that time. I had hurt someone dear to me once again, without realizing it, without thinking about it, without warning. At that point, the elevator had arrived, carrying a resident. They went wide-eyed looking at me, trying to say something, but seemed choked for words. This was probably because of my face. I felt like letting go and bursting out into tears. Don't lose sight of what's important to me. Christ, how could I have made no progress at all? I really felt like killing myself. I ignored the hesitating resident and pressed the button for the lobby instead of the underground parking lot. As I took out my tablet, I rang up Eleanor. I was worried I wouldn't be able to speak properly when Eleanor said yes, I got through. Eleanor, there's something I must ask you. Yes, what could it be? I'd like you to put off meeting with Gazaniga. Could you say that again? I got a call from Barton. He knows everything. More than that, he said we're missing something, saying we really shouldn't make any decisions without getting a hold of it first. Haru, are you asking me to believe that? I won't stop you. It's just we need to think things over one more time. For now, let's discuss this. Where are you right now? Right after Eleanor said that, the elevator arrived at the lobby. I got out before answering, sighing as I walked. Central Station. Huh? Sorry, I'll explain later, but I need to go. I'm still the same as 4 years ago. Nothing has changed at all. I said that and ended the call on my end. I used my left hand to punch out Suro's number, and yet it was trembling. How unsightly. Haru, if you're going to be late, you need to say so. Where are you now? That at least told me that Chris hadn't arrived yet. Or it could have been Chris had waited until the last moment for me to contact her. Where's Chris? Did she contact you? What? She got lost? I almost burst out in sobs. We just missed each other. Did Chris call over there? Nope. Quite a bit ago, there was a call saying she was just about to leave the church, though. The cheerful demeanor was gone from Suro's tone. I didn't have the luxury of hiding my panic. Certainly he must have realized something. Something happened. I'm stupid. If Chris comes, call me ASAP. Well, sure, but hey. I ended the call with Suro without hearing the last of what he had to say. Then I called Chris's phone once again. She just wasn't answering. Shit. I lamented moving from the chic mansion area to the motley surroundings of Central Station. Finding Chris here with so many people, there was an echo was pulsating deep through my mind. Impossible. Should I prowl around? Should I ask an attendant? I could still hear Chris's voice from the tablet in my ears, oddly cheerful. Later then. The irritation brought me to the verge of vomiting. My stomach was in knots from the feeling that I caused her pain. I wandered into the crowd of people in search for Chris, even though I knew full well it was futile. I was soon out of breath, well aware I wasn't going to find her, and wandered to the bronze statue of E.J. Roachburn. Later then, those words rang in my ears, haunting me. Chris was smart. I didn't believe she'd just spontaneously run away. She also knew that my mind was occupied by Avalon. If I explained the situation to her, she'd certainly forgive me with a smile. Of course she wouldn't. My right hand trembled. I grasped it with my left. Chris had saved me. When I couldn't get up on my own, she pulled me up. This hand once again brushed away someone important to me? What the hell was I doing? Even if I just roamed around here, there was no possibility of me running into her. Then I needed to change perspectives. Where would I be able to meet her? Where would Chris think she'd be able to meet me? I thought for a few moments and dove aboard the train. I was completely unsure. But if I didn't see her there, then I felt I'd never see her again. Never see Chris's face again. I headed toward that place, spending that irritating time sandwiching between multiple and different individuals. When I disembarked, the weather was terribly chilly, with the cold cutting through my body. Rather than burning lightly through, I was frantically scrambling my way there. Rather than bounding lightly through. So notice his tie. It was hard to believe that back then, I'd been able to run so lightly. The city skyline had changed quite a lot. It no longer seemed like you could hop from rooftop to rooftop. The city skyline was gorgeous but stiff, built up as if to override the memories of the past. Fourth Outer District. I proceeded desperately onward up a long slope heading toward that place. The top of the hill where Noon City could be seen off in the distance. The one location that still remained after these 4 years. Chris. I uttered that. I wasn't speaking to myself. Chris was at the top of that tunnel. Chris hunched over and cradling her knees, lifted her face slowly and flashed me a faint smile. Then she started to hunch her head over her knees again. Right after that, she raised her head again and looked at me. Her eyes widened in surprise. Haru. I'm sorry. That was all I could say. I was about to bound up to Chris as I had in the past. I remembered I couldn't do that anymore. When I tried shimmying up the side, Chris hopped down. Haru. What are you doing here? Her tone was more condescending than surprised. Why would someone like you be in a place like this? It seemed like that was what she was saying. I didn't think there was anywhere else we could meet. Chris looked away, sighing as a pure white breath spilled from her lips. What about your work? She said that as if sulking, but regardless of the seething undertones of her words, I could only take them straight on. It's actually not doing well. It's crumpled, broken, and about to fall to pieces. Chris looked away and spoke. I interrupted your date with Eleanor. It's not like that. I became defensive and replied, but Chris glared at me for the first time ever. That's what it is to me. She then began crying as she glared at me. Her tears seemed hot enough to let off steam. Why? Why am I being left out? But you aren't. I wanted to say that, but I couldn't. The reason didn't matter. The results were just the way Chris had interpreted these events. I may have just gotten in the way, but why couldn't you just tell me that? Why didn't you say anything? Why wouldn't you tell me anything? Am I that obnoxious? That's the one thing that wasn't true. I felt that, but I wasn't able to continue speaking. If it wasn't that she was obnoxious, then why didn't I tell her? There were a few reasons at the beginning, but the more excuses I made, the crueler they became. To put it simply, I'd forgotten. It had just never come to mind. I had likely done something terrible. I know I'd be in the way, but I still felt that I wanted to be of use to you. I looked up a lot of stuff and tried my hardest in my own way, but you never listened. Always. Just always with Eleanor. Chris slouched, hiding her face in her arms as if to hold back the tears. I didn't say anything. I knew that I couldn't. I couldn't say it. That I didn't know she liked me that much. I couldn't say it. I'd done just as Risa had said. I kept on hurting Chris all this time. But what was I supposed to do about this? Risa said that empathy and love were different. If so, the outcome could only be one thing. I wanted to cry pathetically. I wanted to run. I wanted to run from the decision. Chris came to my house and helped with my rehabilitation. From the day I realized it, I avoided making my decision. Empathy wasn't love. Gratitude wasn't obligation. But choosing either way, I'd lose something. There was that fear of deciding both cannot be selected. Chris looked at me. She trembled as she looked at me. I should have been frantically rushing to bring closure to what happened 4 years ago. Hagana was gone, but Chris was right before me. I definitely didn't just want to add to the pile of things I couldn't take back. Haru. Chris's voice began with a puff of light breath. I love you. The words I couldn't say to Hagana. I then answered, I can't. Chris went wide-eyed, and for a moment her face was overcome with agony. By the end, she laughed, her nose running. That's too bad. She giggled as she said that, her hands squeezing my chest painfully. Really, too? By choosing, you must lose something. That was how most of the world worked. How wonderful the world would be if you could meet everyone's expectations. But for some reason, it doesn't hurt as much as it did with the stock trading. Large drops welled up and fell from her eyes, even as she stuttered out those words. Chris rubbed her face vigorously on her sleeve, then smiled. Stocks are a whole lot rougher, so Haru? Chris looked at me, speaking as if she was holding back the pain. Please succeed in short-selling Avalon. If you fail, I won't help you with your recovery this time. Chris stuck out her tongue as she said the last part. I thought not having your feelings returned must truly be harsh. Trading and love were likely harsh for the same reason. People who love stocks were setting themselves out to be betrayed. People who love stocks? She mentioned stocks because she hoped that other people would bring me the same sort of suffering I just laid on her. That was rather childish, but that was how much she had loved me. That was how Chris related her heartbreak. I suddenly experienced a rather sudden sensation of incongruity. It felt as if I was missing something important, I felt like there was something profound and incredible there. Choosing one meant one would always be lost. The world couldn't support both. Stocks always betrayed the expectations of one or the other. I recalled what Barton said. We were walking on the razor's edge. That was a big reason behind Barton thinking we needed to stop and realize that. That was right. That was what it was. That chance. I had missed something so profound. At that moment, I finally remembered that I wasn't the only person in the world. Oh, that's right, Howard. I was suddenly pulled out of deep thought. When I looked at Chris, she was looking out at Noon City as she wiped her tears. There's one thing I want to ask you. What is it? If I were to tell you I held an important clue to your plans, would the answer you gave me change? She asked a question to which she already knew the answer. No, of course not. I said that, then added this. Probably without even hesitating. Chris scowled and gave a chuckle. She wasn't putting on a bold front, but rather was truly laughing happily. I'm really glad that you said that. That's a relief, that you wouldn't trade. Huh? Of course, I knew exactly how you felt, but I'm glad you actually told me truthfully. So I really wasn't thinking of telling you, but... Chris said that, then looked at me. I tried to tell you so many times, but you were always busy with Eleanor. It's fine. I'll just find someone cool up at Lunar City University. Then, looking up at a roadside tree, she held her skirt and hopped up onto the top of the tunnel. Then, after grabbing her bag and coming back, she said this as if it were nothing at all. You're looking into Avalon's illegal activities, right? That's pretty simple. What? Avalon sales are likely the output from the energy exchange market. I didn't comprehend the context of what she was saying. Chris walked away briskly, saying this after putting some distance between us. I did a bit of research into the accounting. It looks like when the buyer and the seller are the same, there's a method of increasing sale numbers. That was their trick for buying and selling the empty lot generation station. So then I thought, wow, the creators of the market can just do whatever they please. Because, well, they could just buy from a seller, then sell it off to buyers. And that'd be, depending on how you put it, the same action as stocking something then selling it, right? Book balancing, I think. When the buyer, seller, and intermediary are all yourself, then you're free to mess with the numbers all you want. I held my breath as Chris explained this. I literally was not breathing. If you're both the buyer and the seller, then you can put out the profit from the balance as much as you want. I had a feeling when I looked at the numbers, they match up perfectly. I don't think you could say that's a coincidence. So I think that's why they're showing off the energy exchange market to everyone. So there'd be more people, and so there'd be more output. Then, just as they were pretending the sales were increasing, they could fake all those profits made. Chris spun around, speaking with a haughty grin. I bet you're thinking, I'm sure glad I kept you around as a friend, aren't you? I responded to Chris, who was looking awfully grown up, probably because she was so far away. You are a friend. Lies as always. Chris said that and began walking off. Haru. When I realized I hadn't begun walking, Chris turned around and called to me. I set off walking, but my steps were heavy. The tablet inside my bag was as heavy as lead. I should have taken it out of my bag and relayed the situation that Chris told me to Eleanor. Putting this and the vacant lot generation stations together, the world wouldn't be able to ignore how much Avalon had been doctoring their numbers. At the very least, Economica would act. If so, then the media would take this up. Their intimidating profits would change into suspicious profits, and people would turn cold to them. If that comes to pass, then their stocks on the moon, as of then, wouldn't be signifying reality. A sudden plummet would be feasible. This world was harsh on fallen kings. Then, just as they'd beaten Susie Wu's brains out, they'd probably do the same to Avalon. I could easily imagine all this playing out. I could state unquestionably that this isn't a simple fantasy. However, that was just a single prediction and only one of many outcomes. 4 years ago, I had been seized by my own results and lost sight of what was truly important. It was similar to the story Risa told me about God. Others might be able to see God on my side, even if I couldn't. That can also be said of the Grim Reaper. In stock sales, you always had another player. I had forgotten that. Forgetting that compared short-selling Avalon and uncovering their illegal activities. That would be signifying that the stock prices would drop, and the profit-bearing short-selling would succeed, meaning the buyer would post losses. You bought stocks at your own risk, so posting losses was inevitable, right? I remember the explanation from Avalon's headquarters. That was certainly what Barton had been talking about. Our employees invested their pensions back in our company's stocks and managed them. That just went to show they understood that it was the most wonderful choice they could make for securing their retirement. Even if Avalon was evil, the people working for Avalon were, by and large, without fault. And even if that wasn't the case, those Schweitzer and Zelga people should still be in Avalon. Causing a crash in their stock worth would also mean bankrupting them. And even if not, if we were to ruin Avalon, it would mean leaving lots of people stranded on the wayside. I finally understood what Barton meant by it being unexpected. 4 years ago, I fought to protect those in the Outer District. Then how about now? I was fighting for Eleanor's justice so that I could reclaim a fragment of my past from 4 years ago. Via a method that could screw over a few thousand or even 10 of thousands of people's lives. I fell to my knees in the middle of the street, hurling up the contents of my stomach. Chris rushed out and called to me. I couldn't hear those words. I couldn't hear because there was some kind of ringing in my ears. Why? How could the world be this cruel? Was I even incapable of performing simple justice? This shitty world, it should just vanish. I cursed as I looked up into the vast reaches of space. This land that even God had given up on. The pursuit of justice itself became sullied and evil. I wanted to close my eyes and sleep, abandon thought, and trust someone else with the deciding. Please stop shaking me. Please don't try to wake me up. Please put me back in that evacuation room I holed up in 4 years ago. I prayed for this, yet when I looked up at the sound of my name, it was into the face of the girl who had been supporting me for the last 4 years. The face of the girl whose hand I didn't take. Even so, why did I still cling to her simply because times are rough? That was how the world worked. Repeating irrevocable decisions, producing irrevocable results, but still needing to move forward. Agana came to mind. Agana's expression seemed to say that nothing good had ever happened in her life, that there probably hadn't ever been anything good. At the mercy of fate, always ending up with the short end of the stick and severely blaming herself. Yet Agana still did what she could as well as she could. That's why I didn't reach out. Given my word not to refute my past, I had no other path to take. Chris had said it was embarrassing to show me her stock trading data. It was embarrassing because it meant showing her own decisions. They were all irrevocable, so it was embarrassing. But one needed to look back on them to move forward. One needed to look back on them to not repeat those same mistakes. If so, then what should I have looked back on? What should I have learned? How should I make my own decisions and not mistake whose hand I should continue holding? Haru? I'm fine. Sound returned to my world, where I clasped onto Chris's hand desperately as I stood up. I was not alone. I just had something on my mind. Chris looked at me with a faint smile. I spat that sour taste on the street and grinned, baring my teeth. The Terrans have a saying. Huh? It's a waste of time to think when you have no good ideas. I was mostly supported by Chris's shoulder, but I somehow managed to stand myself up. I wasted 4 years. Need to walk. But to where? I looked forward and spoke. To 4 years ago. I then took out my tablet, feeling sorry as I ignored the call history from Risa and Suro and pulled up a number. I called and went through quickly. I'm on my way over. The person on the other end was silent for a while. The reply was short. I'll be waiting. The call ended with that. Afterwards, after this, there would truly be a clash of philosophies. They would certainly also launch desperate counterattacks. But having come this far, it felt as though it didn't matter whether we toppled Avalon or not. What did matter was that I used all I had to do everything I could, going forward in all my beliefs and made decisions in the moment. Wasn't that enough in this despicable world? I flicked my tablet, calling up the Knight of Steel. Eleanor. Yes? Sorry for the wait. She was silent for a time, or it could have been she was angry. Yes, then it would be fine for me to explain the details tomorrow. I've got some great ammo, but I'd like time to put it all in order. That being? It's true. I have no reason to say no. I shall wait for tomorrow. I shall contact Gazanika as well. Thank you. I was about to hang up, but then... Oh, Haru? Yes? I was a bit thrown off, being given pause as I responded to Eleanor. But Eleanor said nothing. Then finally she uttered, Tomorrow, then. I took a deep breath and answered her. Yeah, tomorrow. When I hung up, Chris, whose shoulder I was leaning on, glared at me as if I were her enemy. Sinking into my shoulder from that gaze, I flicked my tablet, ringing up the church. Haru, you... A shouting voice burst out from the receiver, sounding loud enough to break it as I pointed at Chris without thinking. When Chris responded with Risa, another burst of shouting exploded. Before the storm passed, I pulled the tablet back over to me and then spoke softly. Risa, I think I'll be leaving the church. Risa's shouting ended there, and Chris looked at me with a shocked expression on her face. I was about to continue speaking into the tablet, but instead I turned to Chris. Chris, it's not what you think. What? I gave one of my smiles in response, then focused back on my tablet, and said, I think I can find Hagana. The absolutely very first words, which had held me back for those 4 years. There was no first step I could take other than this. Goodness, really? Then I'll bake an apple pie. Can you put Chris back on? Okay. Then when I passed it over to Chris, I heard Risa's voice saying, You can hit him. Chris giggled, and after exchanging some words with Risa, she hung up and gave it back to me. I'll come over tomorrow and hit you. I tried to give a shrug, but being held up by Chris, I couldn't. People might become tangled up by their own past, and there's nothing that can be done except to press forward. I looked up into the moon's sky. This world wasn't all smooth sailing, but we still had to keep pressing forward, as long as we had precious things to us. Even if it happened to be at the world's end. Wow, this might actually be the shortest one of the bunch. So let's see if there are any unused CGs. So a little disappointed this one doesn't really offer you any resolution at all, but it's set up for the third one. So is there an epilogue, or is that it? Here we go. You can only wonder who this figure is, you know? Although if you've seen anything relating to the third game, you can see her from the front and then you'll know. So, did they actually name these or no? Ah, it's the only one on the 6th page. So yeah, they didn't show all of them in the end. And then, is that really the only one with Risa in it? Because I remember most of them feature Chris, Eleanor, or even Reyna. I don't know if we can we see her poster here? Can't really make out all that. I might need to make this bigger to see it. Ah, here we go. So there you can see Mr. Lozenge. Then the leader of Avalon, that's what it was, Kevin. And they have him listed as Grave here, but it's harder for them to change the CG, so I can kind of forgive that, since at times they call him Glaive. So most of these CG, like this one I think was almost entirely this video, wasn't it? Maybe this one on... But anyway, that is part 2. This should be going up on Sunday, and like I said, this one I wasn't really as satisfied with than the first one. It had a lot more typos. You couldn't hide the text to see the CGs themselves. You actually have to wait for the CG mode to see them at their actual detail. And yeah, hopefully Saturday I'll be ready to go with the first episode of part 3. And we'll see how long that one takes. I don't know if I'll be lucky enough to resolve it in 10 parts or not, but you never know. So, I'm gonna call it quits here. I'm the Hero of Light. I'll see you in part 3. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.